Hello my brilliant home buyers and sellers, this is Faryal, your real estate agent. In today's video, I am going to talk about the Greater Toronto Area market update for the month of May. Now we know when it comes to GTA real estate market, it is so dynamic and it changes so rapidly that sometimes last month's stats don't really mean anything. That's why to keep you up to date, I am going to talk about exactly what is going on in the market, what I see as a full-time real estate agent when I go out with my clients, and we're going to answer the question why there are so many condos on the market and why they're not selling. If you're a home buyer or a home seller who is thinking of getting into the real estate market or who is already in the market, you wouldn't want to miss this market update. So let's get right into it. First things first, let's talk about the numbers. What we saw in the month of May, that sales actually went down by 21.7% year over year, and month over month they were also down by 1.41%. New listings were up by 21.1% year over year, and month over month they also went up by 9.86%. Average prices were down year over year by 2.5%, but there was a slight increase month over month only by 0.85%. Now let's dive deep into these numbers for a second. So in front of me is the Greater Toronto Area average price change chart that I've created for you, just to show you how much the prices have gone down and how the prices have reacted ever since the interest rates started to go higher. So just before the interest rates went up, we were sitting on average of close to 1.3 million for an average home in the Greater Toronto Area. And then after the interest rates went higher, we saw a steep decline, and we really hit the bottom in July of 2022 when the prices were going down because of the interest rates. And ever since then, they've been kind of steady after that and hit another steep decline in January 2023. And it also because of seasonality too. You will see in January, you will see a more of a decline than any other month. If you see again in January 24, we saw another steep decline as well in prices. But overall, they hovered just over a million. We didn't see a drop in prices under a million when it comes to average home prices in the Greater Toronto Area. The percentage change from March 2022 up until now, we saw that the prices decreased by 10.32%. So right now we're sitting just on average of 1.165, and when the interest rates were lower, right before that we were sitting close to 1.3 million. Now when it comes to active listings, this is a major one for us to know, and I think it really shifted the market right now, and it's more of a buyer's market than sellers, which is happening after a very long time. So what we're seeing is that in May, there was about over 21,000 active listings. That's a big number for homes to be listed on the market and be active. Whereas last year of May, there were only over 11,000 active listings. That change is about 83%. We have 83% higher listings than it was back then. Now, when it comes to months of inventory, if you don't know, months of inventory, that really tells us what the market is doing in terms of either we are in seller's market, buyer's market, or in a more balanced market. Below 2 months of inventory, we are in an extremely seller's market. Anywhere from 2 to 3, we are more balanced market, and we start going towards 4, we are now in a buyer's territory. Now, if you look at it, months of inventory has also gone up for overall Greater Toronto Area. From 2.2, we went to 2.8. And in different segments of homes, so different types of homes, detached homes saw a big increase as well. We were sitting at 1.35 same month last year, and now we are sitting at 2.88. Semi-detached, even though semi-detached have been not that many homes are listed, and we are still in a pretty seller's market when it comes to semi-detached. We are below 2 months of inventory. Freehold townhomes, extreme seller's market back then, and we are now heading towards more of a balanced market in that area as well. Same thing with condo townhouses. From 1.12, we actually moved to 2.9. Again, we are heading towards more of a balanced market there. Condo apartments, very well. We are in a buyer's market. We are more than 4 months of inventory right now. And average days to sell a property is about taking us 19 days. In some cases taking longer. Of course, this is the overall Greater Toronto area I'm talking about. Different regions have different days of selling. Why there's so many condos coming to the market and why they're not selling, let's talk about that. Now before I move forward, I do want to show you the inventory of condo apartments in different regions of Greater Toronto area. So when you take a look at the Toronto Real Estate Board Market Update Report for the month of May, for all GTA, we see that there's about over 8,000 active listings, and major chunk of those listings are located when it comes to condo apartments in the city of Toronto. In Toronto West, we have over 1,000, Toronto Central, which is heavily condo apartments, over 4,000, and then Toronto East, we have about 568. In other regions, we also see that in Halton region, we have about 450, Peel region 932, York region 873, and Durham region is 161. Now let's go into the MLS system. I want to show you right now in the month of June how many active listings are there available when it comes to condo apartments. So in the MLS system, we are going to take a look at how many condo apartments right now are available in Toronto. So if you see, we have over 6,000 units available for sale. So that's a quite big number. If we go into Peel, that will show us we have about 850. And then if we go to Halton region, we have about 485. So you can see no matter which region I go, there's quite a bit of inventory when it comes to condo apartments. Hamilton shows us 269. Now, why there are so many condos coming to the market and why they're not selling? Well, number one, you have to keep in mind that many people buy these condos as their investment property. And we also had an influx of new investors who came into the market during the time when the interest rates were really low. And we saw that many people bought these properties thinking that they are going to make money off it, or they can rent it out and be able to invest in a good investment. However, when the interest rates started to go up, those monthly mortgage payments went significantly higher, which made it a lot harder for many investors to hold on to these properties, and they've decided to list their homes instead of keeping them. And because of that, we have tons of competition out there right now, which makes it a lot of favorable condition for buyers out there who are looking to buy condos, of course. Number two reason is the vacant home tax. If your property is sitting vacant for 6 months or more, you will be paying 1% of your current assessed value on that property. So of course that made it harder for a lot of these investors who bought these investment properties and have kept them vacant. Now will have to pay not only the monthly mortgage payments, but on top of that they will be paying the vacant tax as well. Now you might be thinking, why not just tenant the property instead of selling it? Well, keep in mind that being a landlord is not everyone's cup of tea. There's a lot of things that you have to be able to handle, from tenant issues to maintaining the property to any damages that might have caused by the tenants. Also keep in mind that tenant laws are a lot more lenient in Ontario. So if there are any issues that you're having, or tenant just decides to stop paying the rent, which happens in some cases, you will have to be able to be ready to cover those costs out of your pocket. If you do end up deciding to go to the landlord tenant board, it can take you some time to deal with that. A lot of these challenges that many investors don't want to take on. Now, another big thing that comes in is that a lot of investors who had long-term tenants living in their investment properties could not raise the rents to keep up with the rising mortgage payments. Now you have these properties that come to the market that are tenanted. Many buyers don't want to assume those tenanted properties, and they are taking a lot longer to sell. And that's another reason why you're seeing an increase of condo apartments coming to the market. So in a nutshell, you have investors who of course decided to sell because of the higher interest rates and higher mortgage payments on a monthly basis. Then we have investors who decided to sell their condos because they have long-term tenants and they cannot raise their rents to keep up with the rising mortgage payments. They have decided to enter the market, and those ones take a lot longer to sell. We have our vacant home tax that also affected the affordability of these investment properties. When it comes to what is happening really in this market right now at this time, so for sellers, what I'm seeing is that if you are in the market and you're property shows well and it's priced at its market value, you will sell a lot faster. Those properties do end up getting an offer. In some cases, they're getting more than one offer. However, if you're someone who is listing their home above the market value, then those properties tend to sit on the market a lot longer. I'm also seeing properties that are coming to the market listed below the market value with an offer date. And what I'm seeing in those cases that either the sellers don't end up getting any offers on the offer date, or if they do, they get a lowball offer or the offer that they are not happy with. So this is a very critical time because sellers, you have to realize there's so much inventory and competition among you. You have to present your property correctly. Of course, it has to be nicely staged, clean, decluttered. Those things matter. But the key is in pricing. Putting it at the market value is what's going to really attract a lot of buyers coming to your home, on top of the fact that you are presenting it well. Now, when it comes to buyers, what I'm seeing is that they are thinking that because there's so many other properties in the market, we can go into a home and prepare an offer that is extremely low ball offer. What I'm noticing is that sellers are also not budging in. They're not willing to go below the market value. So in some cases, if the house really needs a lot of work, or maybe a seller that needs to get rid of the property right away because there's some financial issues, maybe you'll get a deal. But a house that shows well in a great neighborhood, they are not willing to go under the market values. And don't forget that you have the advantage of using conditions to really protect yourself. You can use finance condition, you can use home inspection condition to really make sure that you're in a good place before you offer gets firmed up, which is a really nice thing to have as a buyer when you are in this market. And we also know that because there's so much competition among the sellers and there are more listings available right now, buyers have the ability to save money in this market. And I talk about this a lot more in detail in my video, and I posted the link here or here, somewhere here. So do click on that. I talk a lot about it. I share some real life examples to surely show you where you can save money in this market. When it comes to interest rates, we did see a minor dip of 25 basis points, which I don't think will stir up the market as much at this point. Now, our inflation is down to 2.7%, which is very close to our target of 2%. Now, next announcement will be on June 25th. So let's see what the number will show us when it comes to the inflation. And along with the unemployment, which ticked up to 6.2% in May. So inflation and unemployment will determine our next move by the Bank of Canada to see if the interest rates will go further down. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this market update video. If you're someone who's thinking of getting into the market and have any questions about the market, or if you're just curious, you can simply book a call with me through Calendly link that is shared in my description below. Until next time, this is Faryal signing out.